Okay, recording has started. So we are looking at how white can attack aggressively. I looked at, I was watching CIW, his games, and I saw he played with some other person, and all of them were playing the same thing in white, and each and every time CIW would play it, he would get a winning attack, but he would lose. And when his opponent would play the same thing in white, they would play the same order of moves, and for him, he would win. So I wondered, how does this happen? So I decided to try out their opening, looking at what they were playing, and it gave me interesting results against Bio Miller.
Wow.
Bio Miller is my friend from Nigeria, but he's currently living in Germany. So I played with Bio Miller about 17 games in 2 sets. The first set, I won it 8-2, and the second set, I won it 8-3. And of those 17 games, 9 were in white and 8 were in black. And of my 9 games, I only lost 1. So even me, I was shocked. I was pleasantly shocked. So I said, maybe let me do a stream so that my friends from CNO can learn a thing or two. I'm not going to use computer analysis. Maybe we shall do another stream with computer analysis. I want to just look at it from a human point of view, how a human being would think. And maybe we can discuss if there are any better moves I should have done, maybe, or my opponent should have done. So the first move is E4. And on the stream, we have Dr. Eze, we have our father, our friend Adet from the UK, and we also we had other members joining in. I think we shall let them introduce themselves. Adet, maybe just a word or two.
Hi guys, happy to be here. We have learned a lot from David. David, ever since he joined the CNO group, he's been a wonderful member of our family. And he is, I was just saying to him before, I think he's the fastest improved player in CH now in our group. So that's why I'm here to learn from him anyway. You know, we have to be humble and learn from the best. So as far as concerned, he's better than me. He's got his games are just things to learn from.
Okay. Dr. Is I in position to say a word, or we just continue?
He said something about not hearing, and maybe we should continue for now and see. And then I will ask him in the chat later on if he wants to say something. Or maybe we should just continue.
Okay. So the game I played E4. By Miller played F5, and by the time you go to play F5, it is because every time he had responded with E5, he had lost. So I think before we go to this particular game where he played E5, let's look at other games.
Yeah, from the beginning, yes.
Yeah.
Why is he playing that one for the first? Why is he playing that one first? He must have changed hands.
Okay, so let's look at this one. I played E4, he played E5, I played knight F3, he played knight C6, and usually I play bishop B5 like a Roy Lopez, but this time I went for bishop C4. That is the move he was not prepared for. He was completely taken aback. But let's look at it. Why bishop C4? Bishop C4 targets the F7 square, and I've seen so many other strong players play bishop C5, others play bishop E7. I don't understand the rationale behind bishop e7. But I think let's get deeper into the game and we see how the weaknesses can be exploited. I played knight c6, sorry, knight c3. I played knight f6. I played d. The importance of this move right now is to open up for the bishop, the dark squared bishop. Then he castled, and then I attacked immediately. I've seen other players who castle fast, and I've seen other players who castle immediately. Whatever your cup of tea is, I think the attack is on. So he played this d6, and he didn't know exactly what to do, and I sucked. And all the games I watched from CIW,
this is
all of them, they sucked. All of them sucked.
Yes, I know this.
H7.
Yeah, I know this line.
And I've always wondered why suck. But when you get to the end, you'll see why suck. So when he captures with a king, you attack the knight. Okay, in this particular game, I pawn dropped. Let's finish the game, and then we shall get to others. But most times, you're supposed to attack the knight on g5.
To attack knight, and then
yes.
if bishop g4, queen takes, bishop, knight takes, then bishop f5, check, and takes the knight back.
Exactly. So you end up sacrificing the queen for 2 pieces, but with an immediately sacked. And when he captured, I pawn dropped. Then I fired the rook, check. And then I attacked the knight again. Then I fired it, opening up for the queen. It's very important that the queen has visibility over the h5 square. So even when he pawn dropped check, I just made sure my queen does not get out of the important diagonal. I captured like that. Then he bishop dropped. I defended. It's important that when you attack, you defend. Most crazy house players just attack, and they forget defense. Defense is important because if you don't get checkmated, then you have another chance to win. But if you get checkmated in the process, then you lose fast. So right there, I was threatening mate. Mate in 1 on h8. When he played that, I captured it still, and I threatened again mate. It was important that I threatened mate again and again and again, because he would be forced to give up all his pieces. All his pieces would just come back in defense of the mate, for which in Crazy House, I was going to use those pieces again. As you can clearly see, game over. So let's look at the next game.
Okay, no, before you go in, you know there's a movie played d6. What of the response of d5 in that same game? In the same game. Let's go back.
In this position.
Okay, yes, here. Now,
in this position,
instead of d6, what happens to d5?
If he had played d5.
Yes, go into the analysis mode there.
What happens to d5 is, number one, you can
take that move back and switch on the computer analysis. What would the computer play in this place here now? So what is he saying? No, for
in
black.
This, the computer is advising knight knight d4.
See, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Because if he had played that down, would you have still carried on with that same attack?
Yes, I would have carried on with the same attack.
Okay, so put that knight there. Put that knight on d4. Okay, and let's see. So sack, do the sack again, and let's see. So which sack are we now going for here now?
Personally, I would have gone with f7 sack in this position.
Okay, f7.
Because even the computer is analyzing, it's saying
yes, yes, yeah. That's what I would have gone with. I would have gone with that one too.
Mm.
Because then I would then kick this foolish knight from that d4.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's go to your
And
next.
then you see that the knight, this knight, yes, it has attacked, but it has no mating threats. It's just attacking, take a pawn and a rook. Well,
Yeah.
the other side, you're attacking the king. Yeah. So let's go to the next white game. I'm just going to pick out the white games only.
Yeah, white, yeah.
Because we want to look at whites. Yeah. So in this particular one, I went e4, he went e5, knight f3. He went knight c6, went bishop c4 again. He went bishop e7. The computer, let me turn off computer analysis. I went for knight. He developed knight. I pawn pushed. He castled. I attacked immediately. And you see, this time he changed. He did not try to defend or anything. He just decided to attack. And even in the games of CIW, I've always seen they ignore the attack on the knight and play knight h4. I think Biomiller tried to emulate, but he didn't, or he has never understood the reasoning why they play that knight and the follow up. And that's why we are doing this video, so that we learn. If you do something and you don't understand the follow up, you end up making unnecessary mistakes, because he played according to the book moves, but he didn't know the follow up. Ended up losing badly. Actually, this is one of the best. At this point, you're supposed to ignore. You're supposed to instead play knight, capture, g2, and you have your own king attack. However, he decided to take the pawn, then queen comes. It's imperative that in this line that the queen goes to h5. Do not be in a hurry to defend. Be in a hurry to get to h5. After that, I checked immediately. So you have to put the pressure on the king. Right now, he was feeling the pressure on the king. I've just sacrificed a bishop and a pawn dropped. Now here, things are falling apart, just like Chinua Achebe said. Even if he goes for a knight check, I'll just move away with my king. And yet I'm threatening a mate. I'm threatening queen h7, at the same time pawn capturing the rook on f7. Let's just continue. He fired it, I fired it, and then he pawn dropped. That was a blunder. Reason being, I have two knights and I can drop them anywhere. And that's what I did. I dropped a knight on h6. It was very difficult for him, because in this position, even if he drops anything on h, I will probably introduce one knight already. But if I were him, I would have dropped a pawn on h first. When my bishop, if I don't knight drop and I instead bring a bishop sack on h6, then the pawn drop comes in on g, because now the knight cannot come in anymore. But he didn't think that. He pawn dropped there, thinking of immediate defense, ignoring that had two knights in hand. And that's how Crazy House is. You have to think on the board, yes, but you also have to think, what does your opponent have in hand? I had two knights in hand. So when he pawn dropped, knight check, it's game over. Went in the corner and I picked with a knight, forking. When he came, and if he was to come back, I now have a rook in hand, and I'll just checkmate in the corner. That's how bad it was. Let's just go through this game a bit so that we get the concepts. First of all, you have to set up the winning position. The winning position is this one. That is the winning position. Within your first 5 moves, you must have your knight, your 2 knights out, a pawn on e5, a pawn on d3, and a bishop on c4. And the move order is important because each piece controls an important square. The first three pieces which control the midfield, if I may say, or the center, is the pawn on e4, the bishop on c4, and then the knight on c3. In a way, the pawn on d3 is also important because some people can sack, if that pawn is not there, someone can sack on e5 and then push, can sack on e4 and then push d5 to block. So if someone sacks on e4, the pawn on d3 captures. But opening up also for that dark square bishop is important. So this is the winning position in this line. Let's go about it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a winning position. Now, if your opponent does not castle immediately, you can castle immediately. If your opponent plays another waiting move, you can choose to also attack there and then. Because the threats are both on f7 and h7. But the h7 threat only happens when he has castled. If your opponent, for example, plays d6 and then plays maybe knight a5, then he has not yet castled. You cannot easily attack and sack and finish him off. Because instead of castling, they can just bring the rook on f8 and defend everything. And I've seen Wale play something similar to this, only that for him he pushes h6 as black in this position. So the knight cannot easily come to g5. However, I've seen Miller attack such positions by sacking first on f7 with a bishop, and then using that pawn to pawn drop on d5. But most opponents castle just like this. Even Miller himself castled, and I attacked without waiting. You can now see pawn drop on g, pawn drop on g5, queen h5, sack, pawn drop, knight. This is like singing a song. So Dr. Eze, Adet, and other people on the call, we have P on the call. Yes, other people on the call. Yes, Dr. Eze, how are you?
Who else is on the call here? Who else is here? I know Eze is here. Who else has joined us?
I'm seeing P.
Precious is there. Okay, yeah, GM is here. Okay.
So what happens? That's what usually happens. Let's look at a third game in white. This game, Miller tried to put up a little bit more resistance. After losing 3 games in white to the same opening, he changed the move. He now brought queen.
That is okay.
Queen.
Well,
he now brought queen.
Move on that thing because you're not castle. That's where the problem is. Because I know this move, but then when I look at where we are at the moment, it's who's to play now? White to play.
Yeah, it's white to play. And I was not castling so that I attack my opponent very fast, like a lightning strike. Before he even thinks, pieces are all over him. So let's go through it a bit. Dr. Eze, you need to improve on your data, my friend, because it's on and off.
It's the country that we are in, you know.
Even in Uganda, it has worse internet than Nigeria.
So what did you play here?
So in this position, I sacked.
Again, okay.
Sack on
yeah, this one makes sense because he has not opened his
reason being even if he plays something else instead of
this one makes sense because
and you see most people would have castled before attacking. So for example, if I castled now, he would have the opportunity to play D6. But because, sorry, in this position, if I castled now, he would have the opportunity to play D6. Or would have the opportunity to push H6.
Yeah.
But because I attacked straight away, he went into defense mode. And I don't know whether you people think about the psychology of chess, but when someone is in defense mode, it's very difficult for them to attack because they're thinking, oh, my king is going to be checkmated. And so this is how he defended. What would I have done? One, if it was me in this position, I would have blocked on. Of course, we have these games in the database. We can look for computer analysis, but I'm thinking as a human being. The problem is on F7. That's the biggest problem. He's willing to lose the knight on H, but the problem is on F. So if it were me, I would have put this knight to block on E6. But let's look at what he played. Let's just look at the game. I fired with bishop. Then he fired with rook. I fired the knight first. Why? So that when I bring queen on H5, it is in check. He skipped it. I brought queen H5 anyway. Why? Because I was threatening a checkmate. It is always important when you have the opportunity to threaten checkmate. What should he have done in this position? He should have pushed G6 or put something on G6, because this is what happened next. It is not pretty.
Go back.
That is what happened next.
We missed something there. It went too fast. Go back to where you put the bishop or somewhere.
Now, this is the critical position. Move 11. Okay, that is the critical position.
Yeah, from here. Okay.
This is the critical position because there's a threat on G6, but also there's a threat of pawn drop on G6. There's a threat of the knight drop. There's a threat of the pawn drop. But there's also a threat of a pawn drop on H6. Or H is not so much because it would actually open for the rook to fire the pawn on H7. So this is what he did. He put a bishop there on H, and I checked first. When he captured, I captured the bishop so that I could open up. In case of anything, I'll just open up a discovery check. And then I used the very bishop I'd captured to threaten. Then when he captured it, a pawn came. Then I threatened again. Now in this position, instead of capturing, I just pawn dropped. It's always important to keep the pressure. Whenever you have your opponent's king naked or in a position where it's vulnerable, simply keep on putting pressure on the king, not on any other pieces. Why? A chess player will sacrifice all the other pieces for the king. You see, in this position, instead of taking the rook, I took the the bishop because it was coming in check. So at this point, he tried, but it was all over. This is a checkmate. I don't think we need to analyze this now. But let's see where it came from, because this is something even Dr. Ezek and or even any chess player in CNO who's beginning crazy house can see.
Yeah, isn't Dr. Ezek because he's the lowest here.
Yes. Just look at the critical position. I arrived at the critical position in 5 moves. This is what I was saying. Arrive at this, when you're white, arrive at this position in 5 moves. And you people always wonder why I played d5. I played d5 because I want to avoid such things. My d5 is not perfect. I sometimes play the French, but because I want to attack such and to prevent such dangerous attacks. So let's look at it. After reaching this critical position, you are ready to attack. After he castled, next move, put pressure on the king.
Excuse David, please can you go back
to defend the king. Yes. Pressures. Pressures.
Wait,
I'm here. Yeah.
oh, Precious is there. Ah, hold on. We're learning.
Yeah.
So David,
I'm learning, yeah.
David.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
I'm looking at a response for black where you captured the pawn at h7, you know, with the knight instead of the black capturing the pawn. Yes, at this point, instead of capturing with the knight, why not capture with the king?
Ah, not good.
Exactly. That's what we want.
On G5.
That's what we want.
That's
on G5.
Okay.
On G5.
And after removing this knight, queen comes to H5.
No, I can sacrifice the knight now. I don't need to take out the knight. I can block maybe place a pawn at possibly G6 and I sacrifice the knight.
There's no pawn.
There's no pawn. You don't have a pawn. Black doesn't have a pawn.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
I've seen black players
play
something like this. That's what I've seen being played.
Okay.
I don't fully understand it. Maybe we shall get a day and we understand it together. But we're doing this stream so that we learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah,
I've seen many
maybe
players
just to threaten. Maybe just to threaten the knight. Maybe just a check and see a response.
I actually played this knight for black, and knight h5 is like that. Knight h4 is like the only thing black can play. Knight h4. No, the one attacking the pawn.
This one.
Yeah.
No. Knight h4, not h5.
Yes. After
h4.
this.
Yeah, knight h4. But at the end of the day, this line is still better.
But after this, you only have a check like this. Yeah.
Yeah, the bishop can take the
because
pawn.
now queen is coming. Queen check is coming right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But queen check comes. Make sure you bring the queen check. You can actually ignore this knight and you can completely ignore this and focus on a winning attack. Okay, let's look at another game, but let's recap this one because we are using it for learning purposes. And you see,
is this better for white?
That line, the way you played, white is winning anyway.
So in that line, white wins.
Yeah, that line is theory. There's some complications, but if white plays perfectly, white should win. But black can get some chances.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but the attack is devastating for white. White should win.
But I thought Miller knew this. I think the 9 Miller clan was the one where white castles. That was the problem I had with Miller. I knew this line, but I forgot that the line without castling gives you faster results.
Yeah, even at this point, I feel like he defended poorly because he could have just placed his knight on E6 to try and stop the attack.
I think from here we can say it's 1, but let's look at another game because we are trying to learn from different games.
Yeah.
And looking at Miller's different responses. Okay, let's look at this game. E4. But Miller changed.
Miller was.
I don't think this game will do us justice. Yes, I won it, but we are not learning the line. So let's look for another game.
He was doing trial and error.
Yes. At one time he was trying to get David out of poker. Just
trying different things.
So this time he didn't play queen. He simply played d6.
Okay.
And I still fired.
The computer said knight e4, d4 was the better move.
In this position, actually.
Yes.
The computer said knight.
Computer said knight d4.
Knight
what does it prevent?
d4, yes. It doesn't prevent anything, but rather launches its own counter attack because it's attacking on C. Yes, but also if say white changes his mind, the knight can drop back on on E6 to defend the position.
Okay.
So let's look at what if your opponent played something different. Now Miller has played something different. So we are all learning from this experience. I'm not an expert on this, but we are all learning. Now he simply wanted to get rid of
the bishop.
Yeah. So in this line, you simply fire the knight. Why? You want to bring the queen on H5 in check.
No, you don't fire.
Okay.
What do you suggest?
Here.
Remember, you don't have any zombies.
Here,
you don't have any zombies.
Queen H5. Queen H5.
Queen H5.
Yep.
And after this?
Yeah, bishop takes F7.
And after this?
Pause.
Wait, let me just wait. Let me see.
Just take the knight with a pawn.
I think that you just run away with queen.
No, just take the knight with a pawn.
No, wait. Just move.
Yeah, just back. Just escape.
Just take
remember this.
H4.
The pieces are really maybe this. H4. But then when this knight captures, it defends.
It defends properly.
Yeah.
I think you can just take the knight with a pawn.
I think I will not go back to Sally. I can just retract the queen to.
It's still winning for white. You take the pawn.
It's still winning for white. That's the fact. It's still winning for white. Because even if sorry, let me just look at the position. Say after this move, queen sits here, because this is a mate threat. This is a mate threat right now. And if this knight moves here, it's actually coming to a mate. Because now the king he can't go this side. I see where the mate is. Then the king moves here, right here. And whatever you block is going to be captured.
Oh no, it's
no. Bishop.
There's something from the one before. It was even mate, completely mate. Yeah. So no, okay. There was a move. No, go back. Now instead of moving the knight, no. Put the knight back on A5. Put the knight here, and then the queen. No. Queen go.
Yeah.
Queen to H5.
Queen go.
Yeah. And then you bring in the other knight to F6. Then bishop takes F7. Rook takes. No, would you not take? You have to take.
No,
just move away.
It's not good to take. It's not good to take.
You just move away.
At this point, you just
then pawn takes knight. Pawn takes knight.
Like this.
Pawn takes
knight captures queen.
Then put knight G6. Check. Knight G6 check. So then knight chop. So what do you do?
Knight sack rook.
Yeah, no, quick. Yeah, knight takes rook. Bishop G6. Mate. Mate tie.
Okay, pawn.
Mate.
Yeah, pawn G6. Okay, rook mate.
Pawn G6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rook mate H7.
Wow.
A variation.
Well, after this, yeah.
Rook mates, yeah.
And it's all in sequence.
Yeah.
I think I've also learned this, and I'd never seen it. Oh my God. You see, when you're doing computer analysis, a computer analysis cannot show you that what if a player plays knight F4, F5, which is completely dubious. But in the unlikely event that if your opponent plays knight F5, now you know what to do. Wow.
And this can easily come out in any game. Easily. But
the problem come out in any game.
Before that bishop C5 instead of the bishop E7. So that's why sometimes you prepare for that line and then people play bishop C5.
I think let's look at it deeply again. Queen after queen H5, in the event that knight drop, just capture like that.
Yep.
If he moves away, capture this. And in the event that he captures the bishop, you have mate. In the event that say he captures this, you still have mate. And I think we've already seen, even if he captures this, you still have mate. Though it takes a bit longer, but you still have mate. Dr. Eze, I think now, next time I'll not play you E5. No. I can't risk.
I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you.
No, don't forget, that's because they played bishop E7. You know, there's some variations we didn't look at in the same position.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, even with bishop C5, we are going to look at a bishop C5, and we see the continuation.
Okay.
It will. Let me look for the game.
Because when they play bishop C5, you have to castle. There's no way. You have to move your king straight away.
Yes, you have to castle.
If you don't castle, you lose.
I think the rest of the games, bishop. I'm not seeing a bishop. There's one game he played bishop C5. I can't find it, but I think when we find it, we shall look at it. Let me also get one game I played with Precious, and we see how I did not do so well. And now he was able to neutralize my attacks. Precious, what's the account's name? Presh?
Yeah, Presh. Presh underscore
just like
one.
that.
Presh underscore one.
Underscore one. Wait.
Okay, you actually play E45.
Let's look at it briefly. I think I did not. It's not this one.
Change the line.
No, it's not this one.
You change the line.
This is D4. This is D4. There's a game, I think the mistake I did in this one is I changed the line. I played D. I didn't reach the critical position. I castled early. I was panicking. No. If you play like this, you'll always lose badly.
This is how Cowboy plays his line. Cowboy plays this line.
As white.
As white.
Okay.
I always beat. I don't know why he finds it difficult playing against my line in white, and I don't know why that there's something about that stupid Dabi. I don't know why I don't do well without when Dabi plays white with that D4. But if I'm playing white, I can even face anybody with that white. If I play that D4 system.
Let me look for if I played similar games against Dabi. Maybe he defended differently.
I will show you guys a D4 selection that there's something I plan against Manny. Manny plays a line. There's a line that Manny plays that I play.
Italian game, Hungarian defense. Okay. I was moving towards the critical position. Now we've arrived at the critical position. Critical position. It is important that whether you sack on F7 or H7, you attack the knight. I've seen other players in this position sack the queen. Sorry, sack the knight like this.
The knight.
If say at this point this bishop comes out, if the bishop comes to G5, they sack the bishop, and after the knight fires, they check. But this time Dabi, I think, knows this line, so he played the knight there instead. So I attacked. You ignore the knight if they ever sack. You just ignore the knight and go for a king attack. Now I had the knight, which I was threatening checkmate on G6. G6. So you see, it's important to put the bishop. It was important at this point to check the bishop from bishop D5, because in case you need a knight urgently, you know where to get it. Okay. And that's also about being resourceful in Crazy House. You need to be resourceful so that some of your attacks come when they have a plan B, so that if plan A fails, there's a plan B. At this point, he defended, and then I attacked. Now the knight is going to come, threatening taking a queen. I think here he lost on time, but even without the time element, you can see that his position is worse off. And I was threatening to sack on, if he was to take, say, C2 and go for A, I was willing to leave them all for him and simply focus on a mating attack. Let me look for another game. Maybe I could have played better. E4, E5, knight F3, D6. Okay. Critical position. Make sure you reach the critical position in 5 moves. 5 moves. This time, I attacked on H7. Now, it's important to be resourceful, but it's also important to be mindful that your opponent is also playing. You are not playing alone. You are not just going to give pieces. I've seen Biomila sometimes just donate pieces. Please don't waste pieces. Be resourceful. That thing really hurts me when I see people just attack and waste pieces. Wow. I think it was now over. So let's just go back. Even if you are not planning to fully implement this Italian attack, but it gives you a good foundation for other attacks during the game, like this game against the Bishops. This is where it all began. I now have a pawn in hand. He has a knight in hand. I got back my knight. He got back his pawn. But the question is, his king is open. My king is not. And right now, with an open king, it's easier to attack. As you can clearly see, he was more careful about his naked king than defending pieces elsewhere. So I used that distraction. If it was me in this position, honestly, if it was me in this position, I would have taken the bishop back. I'm sorry, but I would have taken the bishop back to defend the pawn. Why? I wouldn't also want him to get a piece in hand. You see, when your opponent has a piece in hand, he can use it against you. That's what I would have done. But I'm not him. And this is what happened. I now have 3 more pieces in hand. And those are the same pieces which I used as a springboard to attack. And if your opponent doesn't have a mating attack on you, do not be afraid. Some players get afraid or panic when they see many pieces on them. If your opponent doesn't have a mating attack, do not be afraid. For you just keep on doing an attack on the king position. It's imperative. Why? An opponent will give everything to make sure they have a secure king. And this is what I did. I made sure that his king was insecure. At this point, I was going to drop a pawn, and that's what I did. I dropped a pawn. I think it's over.
You know what we should do? We should organize E4 only tournament, and just so people can practice.
My worry now is in defense as black, because maybe okay. I think you are trying to focus on offense using white, with the line. But what about defense, against this line as black? Because I think most times my weakness is always with the black piece.
That's mine too. Always with the black. If I can improve my black, I think I can do. I suffer normally with that black, unless it's D4 and the player doesn't really understand what they're doing. But when it's E4, E5, with black, I don't normally. I'm not as comfortable with white as in black.
I think to be able to defend well, you must first understand how they attack well. Because you cannot defend what you don't.
Just now with the E4, E5, that's why I don't play E4, E5. If you play E4, I won't respond with E5. No way. I don't play
Doctor, during your black games, what I advise is that you don't respond E4 with E5. I've even seen Jan Lee's games. He instead plays G6, Bishop G7, and H6. So maybe we can try something else.
Okay.
Yeah, and my personal favorite is D5. You've seen me play it, and I bring my queen, and the queen is chased around, but it gets people off balance and gets people off book.
Let's see the game. Which game is
that? When I'm black, can I put a black game?
Yeah. Let me see.
All right.
This is a game against Dabi. Okay, he played D4, so this one does not help us.
This thing, if we are doing things like this, many people would have improved in this. So that people see the ideas of people who are like if you know something, you show people, other people will learn and people will grow from it. That's what they do in HOD. They show each other lines. They study lines. They have studies. They go there, they go and they bring them together, they learn it, and they come. We don't do that. Once you learn something, keep it.
Come and shout talent.
Yeah.
Okay, Dabi played D4 in most of the games that we played. So let me look.
Show the board. Show your board.
Okay. Let me look for my games in black.
And once in a while, we should be going to that crazy house puzzle site. Once in a while, we should be going there.
Miller. And such.
I can show you how to beat. I can show you how. If people want to learn how to beat couple with white, I can show you.
How to?
I think you can show us.
Yes, so how to beat cobweb. No matter whether it's 1+0, 2+0, how to beat him with white. I've got a set that I use all the time, and he always uses most of the time. If David is there, I can show you guys if David is still doing Have you found the game?
I think I found it. So this is what I usually play. E4 D5. Yeah, E4 D5. You've seen me play this many times. It's because I want to match analysis or game zone, center counter or Scandinavian. So I make sure that my opponent is taken in a very deep and dark forest.
You have gone too fast. It's too fast. Okay.
One thing you will know that in this line, e4 d5, your queen is going to be exposed. So what most people do is after capture, queen captures. After this attack, they take back queen to d8. But it's as if white has made all these moves and black has done nothing. So what I usually do, I do two things: either queen a5 or queen e4 check to try to destabilize my opponent a bit. But let's look at this game. What Bayo did. Bayo really played well. As you can see, his pieces are developed, very developed. And he's planning to trap my queen and keep me in the center. So he attacked it. If I was to move the queen, say c5, that's the only safe square. c5 is the only safe square. The rest of the squares are not safe because of a knight c5, knight c7 attack. So I decided to exchange a queen for two pieces.
Yeah, this is good. The only reason why it's good is that black is not too exposed.
Yes, and it's important.
It would have been too good.
And it's important that when your opponent has a bishop on c4 or in that diagonal, you have a pawn on e6 to slow down the attacks. This game, it has a bit of dubious play, but I did manage to weather a storm. That's the first thing he did.
Yeah.
He tried to weaken me.
Yeah, he's
so
going for c6.
I put the knight on b6. Why? Because he was going to attack the rook on a. On a8 with queen b. Queen b7.
b7.
So I didn't want my next move, if he attacked, to be to defend the rook. I wanted the next move, maybe bishop e.
Chop out.
Yeah, bishop e7 or bishop d6, and then I castle. I was not even planning to attack the pawn. To sack that knight out to get a clear opening on the d file. So I was not ready to give it to him yet.
Oh, I remember.
Now I fired this to distract him, and he was indeed distracted. I had to fire that pawn so that I maintain defense. It is important that when they attack you, you defend your king first and foremost. Leave everything else, defend. As you can see, I was defending the king position. At this point, I've got back the queen, and I'm also now attacking on my own. I have two bishops. All of them are pointing on G and H. And if he was to fire this pawn, I have a pawn drop on G, or sorry, on E2. I have a knight drop also on E2. So he was trying to get in a check, which I gladly accepted. Why? Because I had a bishop on
c6.
C6. So next time, before you exchange pieces, first see, do you have a defense, do you have a backup, or you don't? Are you seeing how I'm pawn dropping to make sure I defend the squares? And other people would have instead pushed F, but that allows your opponent to sack on E and then pawn drop, and attacks keep on raining on you. But with a defense like this, you pawn drop so that in case he fires on E, there's another pawn to capture, not a king. Check. This in standard chess, this is called an intermezzo. Make sure that you have as many intermezzos as possible, because those intermezzos slow down your opponent. Sometimes an opponent would have used a zombie on you. He has to use that zombie to defend. He was now planning, as you can see, he's planning to attack, bring a second knight on F5.
F5.
Which I had prepared for. Yes, I'd prepared 4. Why? If he checks here, I cannot, right now, I cannot move to D7. But if I capture the knight, then I can go to D7. Now I can go to D7 because the bishop is watching the whole diagonal. So when your opponent gets frustrated and goes for capturing pieces, and yet you have over 100 zombies in hand, that is the time to attack. And one of the best pieces to use to attack is a pawn. Pawn drop somewhere aggressive, especially on a rook, because rooks cannot easily defend themselves. And pawn drop as many times as possible. I think there are sometimes inaccuracies, but you get the point. Yeah. You cannot pawn drop unless you have the pawns. I think that is a bit, in Uganda, people call me the pawn master because I like capturing pawns a lot. But my point is,
do you mind if I just show one game? And yes, although it's going to give out an idea of what I normally do with white, but at least since Dr. Eze is there, see, because that's for like D4 line. There's something I normally do. I followed precise ideas, but I deviate a bit. And I will show here. Bear with me 1 minute. Let me show you my screen here. My screen share. Okay, cool. And Fasos. This is me and Cobweb. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see the board?
Yeah, we can see the board.
Okay, good. So normally, this is what I normally play. I like it when my opponent plays E6 so that they don't contest, because I always put my bishop. My next move would be, I played knight here only because it didn't bring out, it's just to keep an eye on this place here. That's what I normally do. So the person played very good. I like it this way, all the way through. And if they put something, I always fight for this square when I'm playing this system. And so he plays knight. That gives me time. And normally, so in most cases, they bring their white bishop out here. And if they bring here, I contest here. If they put bishop here, I put my own bishop here. But in this place here, my own is that I want control of this square. So this is what I play. I always, 9 out of 10 times, I always play that. So a castle, I play bishop. Bishop always, so that you can hit here or hit here. And as long as he hasn't got bishop, so I always put it here. Always. And then he plays. Now here, sometimes I can go for this, but I don't need to do it. I need tempo, because if he takes, I take with tempo. So I always keep that. So I love it this way. So I castle. Now me, I'm ready to start attacking. Now, if you look at his queen side is not developed. Mine too is not developed. But you already see I have an invisible attack already. See queen. See bishop. He too has queen here, but look, his queen is being blocked by his knight, and he hasn't got chance to break through. So he too needs to put maybe knight here, which most of the times they do. So let's see what his next move was. He came for my bishop. To me here, I feel this is a waste of time. Reason being that by the time you capture this bishop, you are now I'll put a pawn here. Say for example, let's say for example, I develop, he takes, I take. Now look at this now. I now control this square. He doesn't. Although he can put something here, but it's not, at least I've got a pawn to kind of, wade off or knight. So he can still sack. I'm not saying that he can't, but it's better for me this way here now. That is a pawn, because I can always support with another pawn or put a knight and control this square. Sure, you get the gist. So what did he do? So he came here with his knight. I castled, he played that. And in the game, I just developed. And then he went for it. I took. Now, attacking my queen here. So all I did was here. And then he played. Now, sometimes in this place here, if not because of this bishop here, I look for things like sack here or sack here, and a pawn drop maybe to get the pawn here. Now this is in here now. 8-6 is his weakness. Now look at my own 8-3. He hasn't got anything to drop or to fire me in this game. So these are the things I'm looking at for that. At the moment, he hasn't got pieces attacking my king, attacking my h3. He can't sack his bishop here, but I need something here. So sometimes I can even sack and place pawn here, or bring rook sack on any piece around here, and then use it on this side. Those are some of the ideas I use. So this game I played here now. Now I'm planning to attack f7 or h7, but as long as I can, because don't forget, even when I sack this, he has two pieces together, this knight and knight. I'm gonna get the piece back no matter what he does. If he plays like maybe like a stupid move like this now, I will easily get, I will still sack and I'll get my piece back. You know, like knight takes, bishop takes, and all that stuff. He takes back. Now look at all these players are beginning to get weak, and boom, where will he drop the knight? Where is he going? At the moment, I haven't got any weak, unless he will leave it and then he himself start attacking, which when I can then defend here. Shall you get the gist? Hello?
Yeah, we're following.
Okay, so I'll come back. So those are the ideas I always, when I'm playing this line, I carry. So I'm watching. So he knew. I don't know. Maybe he must have suspected that that's what I want to do. But even if he did that, I can still do it because I can get my piece back. Look, it still has knight and bishop here. So I can still get if I want. So what did I do? Since I knew that he didn't have anything. Now, what is this rook doing here? This rook is wasting. This is like I'm a piece down. So what do? I develop. I bring a rook in, which later on, by the time we start exchanging, this rook can give me maybe the mating material I need. So before I attack and open everywhere and make it look messy, I develop my rook. So he too, now this is the mistake I think he made. Why are you giving me, in this place now, he's giving me ammunition. He's giving me a pawn. And don't forget, I need a pawn here, indirectly, on this square. So what do? I take the pawn, he takes back, it gives me tempo. I kick him so that he doesn't have any wururu. He attacks knight. Rubbish. This does nothing. What do? Boom! I just go and drop my pawn. This bishop is a piece that it makes him look like a piece down. If he takes, rook goes into action. So what does he do? He takes. Now this is where I strike. Boom! I go that side. And the reason why I went to this side, that when he takes back, it does not activate an officer. When he takes, I will have pawn I can drop here, and I'm going to take this pawn. I just wanted to get him out of, to just Dabaru to make it like a puzzle to him. And don't forget, this is half plus 2. So pawn quickly, I'm in there. If he blocks with pawn, now don't forget, rook can't come up here because I will take it. So I've planned it in such a way that it's going to be a mess. What does he do? He leaves the rook, which is wise. Yeah, just leave the rook, and I take the rook because I need it. He takes, and then now I give him back the rook. Sometimes in this position like this, rooks are not the best pieces. You need pieces, minor pieces that win the game. So if I hold on to a rook in this position, I may compromise myself. So why not keep the attack up? So I put rook check, which means I can take this knight or take this bishop, whichever one I like. What does he do? He blocks. So I attack one of his knights. He comes, he thinks, oh yes, he's taking her. Now, I don't forget in this position here, my mind is like, okay, it's half plus 2. I've got rook still defending. He hasn't got any inlay here. Where will he put pieces to attack me? Maybe here. If he can't even put bishop here because I will take. And then even if he puts bishop here, say bishop there, he doesn't still do anything because I can either block or just put pawn or even put here so that when he takes, just anything to just destabilize him.
Slow down, yeah, to slow down the attack.
Yeah. So we continue now. He's attacking the rook. This is now where, now look at this now. He can only move one. He can only move
bishop. One bishop only. He can't move both.
So he takes that one. I take with the tempo, attacking his queen. So he has to take with king. And now I take. See how as I enter the body now. I've entered that square. That's why that was my target all along. Now he goes boom. And now I wanted him to take the rook so that when I take back with pawn, my rook is open. And he saw it. That's why he blocked. He quickly blocked. Quick. And what do? I just go boom, check. He can only take with this or this. And then he takes back. Boom. Now I've got a check here. Nothing. So I get tempo here. I've got tempo here on both sides. He can only save one piece. There's no attack on my queen, no attack on my king. Even if he drop knight does nothing, I'll take it. So in this place now, and don't forget, right from the word go up, I've already planned in my head that this kind of thing will happen. That's why I used that setup. So he defended, which is the right thing to do, defend. So I brought the bishop, knowing that again I will drop. See, I didn't go the queen side. I'm not bringing the queen into action yet. I want his queen to stay there, just have holiday there. So he brought it down. Now this is where I brought up now. I now pin the queen. Now he doesn't have any attack on me. Although maybe he can, even if he does this, there's nothing he has. My own attack will be faster because if he attacks my queen, I go here and I'm threatening mate. One way
exactly. So, and then even if he moves the knight the queen away, you have a knight drop in that very
that was his problem again. So boom, I went there. Now double attack. He has to block with the pawn, which I didn't mind. I went for that one. Now the problem is that why I did this one is that if he takes this one, then there's going to be problem. I get rid of one of his bishop, and then all my knights pieces will start dropping in from every angle. But
there's a weakness even on E7.
Yes, on E7, yeah. Knight takes pawn, attacking queen. And I have two knights, I have two knights in hand that are very, very. The king is already. Look at the king here. The king is already semi-trapped.
It is cornered properly.
Yeah. So what did he do? So I took this way so that I can bring knight in. I wanted double knights from every angle. He moves. See, no, it's going nowhere again. And now look at this: attacking queen, attacking f7. How does he defend?
He cannot.
How does he defend?
Because even if he captures f6, that knight comes in check and tempo.
It's too much. It's just too much. He has nothing at all. So he comes there. What do I take? Now he has to take that bishop. He has to. Or what will he play here? Nothing. It's just too much. And then I just go for it. Take. If you like, take. If you like, don't take. And that's the end of the game. And that's how I normally play that line. It's only those that fire me back quick, that know that those that normally fight back. But I normally get 6 out of 10 wins from this line.
I like this line.
6 out of 10 that I normally get from. And in the tournament, that's why when we are playing a tournament, if they give me 3 whites, at least I will beat him 2-1 or 3-0. Because he hasn't learned. Because if you look at that game, there's too many things. Because I've learned to play from Preciguy long time ago. I discovered all these weaknesses for white against black. And the fact that he kept his bishop inside, another problem. That's why I believe this white bishop should come out from word go. Come out. By the time you keep it blocked in, you don't have resources to join the attack. And it gives me a plus. So when I see people leaving their bishop here, I'm like, I'm already dancing. I'm already dancing. Yes. You know. So anyway, it is well.
I think we've done.
You said you had a line against Mani. What line is that?
There was a line. Yes, I prepared a line against Mani. Let me just see if I can find it. This is stupid line I normally play. Let me see if I can use computer to find it. I did it one time. It's normally you go with this, and then Mani comes out with. If I remember, Mani does this, and then I go here, money comes somewhere here, and then let me see if I think it's something here, and then okay, it plays knight. I hope I can find this thing. Let's see. I don't know whether it's this one here. And then when money plays this one, there was one where I gave he gave a pawn. He gave a pawn. Normally with this one, it doesn't do anything because this comes here and then come on computer, and then you go here and then it takes back. But you still play this, you still get something from it anyway. It takes, take. Now here, the only thing you get is just 2 pieces, but gets a knight in the pawn. But there's one line, once I can, then it defends. So I don't like, this is not the line. Let me just see if I can find it. And because money played, okay, he didn't play this. I think, let me see where he played. There was a move. I've seen him play this before, which is, aha, this is the one. Money, how many of you have played this and Money played this move? Money has played this move against me almost 100 times. And then I was waiting for him to do it again to hear. So now, whichever way he loses, he can't take that pawn. You know, in 1+1, now you will look at as this guy fumbled, wagam, it will chop. And it will just chop. Why is this thing freezing? You take back, it takes. And this is where you start your journey on him. And then, oh, it's okay, it says drop another one. This computer is very stupid. It's the one that will give you moves. It's the one that will, there was that line whereby you leave him, he will take the pawn back, and then you sack on this place here. Let me see if I kept it in my study. I saved it somewhere. It's a long time ago. That's the problem with all these lines. If you don't keep them and then use them, you just forget them. Money. If I find it, I'll keep it. There's a file I'm opening on money. It's just like today now. He played something rubbish. Let me show you something he played in let me see. Where's that analysis? But let me show you something. Money played something and he was happy in that anti-chess. I didn't want to say anything to you because I said it's not your fault. You are saying strength. And it was I'm the one that gave you the, so let me show you. So anti-chess, let's see if I can turn the flip board. How do you flip board? Money with this big mouth went and played this today and I messed it up. I didn't see it. It was later that I went, let me remove this that keeps showing the line. Enable computer analysis. This one here was immediately you play this is lost straight away. No come. Straight away you play this. And then you play knight here. Money has to take this. You then take this. Money has to take this. You then take, if I remember, you take I think you take this one. Okay, this one. And then he has to take. And then you take this one. And then he has to take. Let me see. Let's go by that move here. So it takes, it takes. And let's see. What's that inline? Online. Okay, the book. Yeah, this is the one. It takes, and it's by force. It takes, you take. Money now takes this. He has to take by force. This, and then you move here. He takes, and at this game just ends. He has to eat everything. And he played it today, and I missed it. I missed it completely. I missed it. Because all the pieces now will start chopping. You can give him chop, knight here, rook here. See? He has to take, say for example, he takes with knight. He has to take this one too. You chop, gladly chop. You give him, if you even give him knight, let him chop that one too. And then give him this one too. Give him this one to let him chop. So even if he chops this one and say you should chop this, he has to chop back. You give him this one, he will chop. You give him this one, he will chop. Then you give him this one, he will chop. And then you give him this one, he has to chop. And Manny played. So Manny normally sometimes when he shouts strength, he plays sometimes some silly moves. And it was later I went to check it that after when he played, but it was too late. But I just think that if we are from time to time we are learning stuff from each other like this, it will help because some of you guys, you know, some powerful stuff. Just come and be teaching us now. Come and be teaching us.
Yeah. I'm thinking we can make this a weekly engagement.
Yeah. And don't forget that there's a website called Pie Chess, where we get all our crazy house. Let me show you all our crazy house puzzles that should be at least. I don't think there should be a week where we don't go through puzzles, where you find very difficult positions. Let me see puzzles. Let me see variant puzzles. Puzzle. Okay. Puzzle. Aha. Crazy house. Crazy house puzzle. Crazy house puzzle. These are puzzles from games. These are games. Crazy house puzzle. This is the one. Oh, even Crazy House 2 has some. For example, these are puzzles from. Okay, let me share that screen here. They share. Oh, you can see. You can see now, can't you? Let me see.
I think Adet just went off. Maybe we give him a minute or two and then he joins us.
Oh, has he gone off?
Mm-hmm.
He has gone off.
Now I'm back.
Yeah, it was a good one.
For some reason, I think I pressed the wrong button. Let me see. So this is the Chrome, and this is Crazy House Puzzle. Yep, that's the one. So this is Crazy House Puzzle. Some people, this is the one done by some people here. So here, it will take your turn. So in this position now, you be white, and it's telling you that it's your turn to play. So this is where you learn all these kind of puzzles. This is one place, but there's another place I'm looking for once I find it, which is that one you can have 1001 puzzles. Crazy House puzzle on Pie Chess. Found it. Yes, I found it. Crazy House variants. Okay, here we are. Puzzles. Where are the puzzles? Has Preciguy played Chess 90 Crazy House before?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
No, I haven't.
Wow. Okay. Crazy House Chess. Let me see. Where's the puzzle? Puzzle. Okay. Because this is where me and David normally play. Even where's this puzzle? Crazy House puzzle. Let me see. This is the one. Crazy House parents. Crazy House on Pythons. Oh, okay, fine. Yes, I found the puzzle. Pie chess puzzle. Where is it? Crazy House puzzle. Okay, Crazy House. This is where. Let me show Preciguy where we found that chess 960. This is where we chess 960 crazy house. Yeah. Various variants. So crazy house. This is the one on crazy house. So this is where we find chess crazy house 960. Okay, it's just the rules there. Current games, players. So Mugot is Bayamila. I think Bayamila used to be here before. David actually was on this list. Okay, you see, Dabi is also there. Dabi's name is there. Kirekachesschamp is there. Bayamila is top. Bayamila is top on there. Where did I find the puzzle? I wish to do it all the time. Create variants. I'll find it. I chess crazy house puzzles. Lobby crazy house feature crazy house. Okay, index. Let's see where this index. Okay, so this is where you see round one puzzles. These are them. So 15, so 60, so candidate puzzles 63. So here, this is where you see, so in this place here, your turn. So you can get about 63 puzzles here. Like in this place now, you have to play. I think it's white to play.
You need to. Then you stand up now.
You know what I did? It might happen to me, but what I did?
Well, is there a win here though?
I used to sleep back.
Which if everybody has what night 2 has 9. So how does he meet?
As white.
This
position.
Yes.
Now to win, I think you need a series of constant checks.
Which we have to start with it.
And not necessarily.
Night check on night check here makes the king come here, and if you come here, because with pawn, you need something quick to, and it's only got a knight and a queen.
I think you can start with.
Does he sack? Queen here, pawn and king here, sack.
It can start with a knight check. Once the king moves to C, the knight falls back
to where?
To C5. C5.
Okay, he has no check. Okay, yeah. He has no check on me. So check.
If it goes on D, it's mate. Yes.
So this is so a good move. It says computer thinking. So this is where so it says good move. So this is where they do the project.
Now at this point,
wait, Adet, can you go back a bit, please? Just go back before the next check. Can't you just play E6? What happens if you play just push pawn E6?
You also said it's a good move. That one too is a good move.
That's just threatening mate immediately.
Yep, that one is. In fact, that's
E6 is just winning. He doesn't have anything to play.
Okay. So that's
not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Go back a bit. Go back a bit.
No, that one is good. Precious one is better.
No. Actually, I disagree.
Okay.
After pawn push, right? Remember, opponent has 2 bishops in hand.
Yeah.
He has 2 bishops in hand.
Yeah, what will
First thing is bishop check on G. With the bishop drop on G. Yes.
They just move king to H1, and that's all.
Yeah, no, just that's what I want to. Just move.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just win it because there are 2 great threats. Yeah, this is just winning.
He's winning. Because if you now
because there's a check coming on D7, but then there's a mate immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Because that opens your bishop up for the mate.
Because if you just check like that, he captures with this very bishop, in fact.
So there's no way. So this is another one here. This is between your friend, Little Popkin, and Sexy. So you have a knight and a pawn, and white to move.
Baby, can you see her?
I think the idea here is just to check with the knight and free up the queen.
The question is where? F?
Yeah, maybe F, I think.
I don't know.
Knight check again. Knight takes pawn check. No, knight takes pawn check first.
Are you sure that we cannot just? No, it's mate. Not even this one wins. Even this one wins.
Even this might win.
No,
actually.
No.
This one is better.
You need the knight first, actually, because you need to put your opponent in position.
Yeah, true.
This one, he has to take, and then
no pressures.
See, he can't take this knight, and it's mate. See, I'm gonna make.
You capture the pawn in check. Capture the pawn in check.
It's over. So that knight, so that one was better. Taking that one. So this knight.
What if he just ignores after the check?
So
after the check.
If he ignores, it's still mate on this square here.
No, just play king d8.
What will it take?
King d8.
Belgium.
King d.
D8 is mate.
D.
Yeah, because So yes. I don't think computer level will let me go there. So the computer won't go there. But if it goes there, I'll take queen takes and mate on here.
Yeah, queen d8 is just queen takes queen, and then there are 2 queens.
Just me.
Oh wait,
he only has one. He only has one knight. He doesn't have enough to He doesn't even have time.
So if he plays d8, we go with queen here. If bishop here, we come here. Oh no, we just take.
You just mate. You just mate.
Yeah, it's mate. Yeah. So it can't work. So this is incorrect.
So I think maybe we should try and encourage players to do what David did today. Just at least it's as simple as just coming online, showing us some of your games, show us how you think, and then we can all learn from each other like that.
Yeah.
So
I think the best we would like to encourage to teach us to raise more warlock is yourself. Please come and teach us your ideas. Honestly, I don't even mind paying you for a session that people can benefit. We need people like you to give more ideas to our players so that people know, because they used to say that nobody has 10 heads. But people have different brains.
People like Bayomila, Mani, because we all think differently. And we are better at certain aspects. So People like Biomila, David, Manny, everyone should just try and come online once in a while and show us your ideas and all that, and we can all learn generally from it. That's what I think.
And I think not everyone can be on the stream. So what I'll do, I'll be connecting to YouTube, and then we'll see.
Someone like Preciguy can always. Are you using your computer to connect with us now?
No, I'm using my phone.
Okay, so we're just trying to see. So if it was yourself teaching us, I'm not trying to see how you unless
I can connect to my laptop if I have to.
Okay, so that we can, we will advertise it, training with Preciguy, Crazy House in our group, so that people will get prepared to me, because that's how people can learn. I've learned today from you guys, some of the ideas, and okay.
Even me, I've learned from David. I've learned some of his defensive tricks and all that.
I'll set tournament for 10 half 10 now.
David is a very good defender.
I can put some of the things to use. Okay.
David, you need to teach me how to defend more. You have a very high sense of danger.
And there's a very interesting game I played against the B one time. I think it was the final of the speed of the last man standing, and I chopped everything. I chopped everything up to the very end, and even when he attacked, I just spawned.
You are Dr. Easy. Just they grab, they chop all the ideas, his brain don't explode. His brain has exploded. You will get to the chessboard now and be beating people. Wow.
David is very annoying.
We started
very annoying.
Slowly.
Yeah. So I will set it turning for half 10. By then, David will be in bed.
I'll watch. I'm retired now, so I'll watch.
You will say retired. Okay. I will try this. I will do only info and see what men will come up with, and see if I can try some of those ideas. I will try not to info at all.
So let me end the broadcast now. Thank you guys for being part of
it. The video, keep it. Did you send it to anywhere? Did you send it to you?
Not yet.
Okay, please, when you send it, let us get the link.
Okay, I'll share the link.
Okay. God bless. Thank you so much. See you on the report, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.